very good afternoon, doctor and fellow friends. My name is Chin Kayen and my metric number is S50204. Today, me and my team member Prem Kumar and Chao Junho are going to present our group assignment titled Disclosure and Presentation in Financial Statement for Banking Industry. We choose Malayan Banking Berhad, which is Maybank, for this assignment. There will be 4 sections in this presentation. First is background of Maybank and its sector. Second is accounting policy and standard by Maybank. Third is discussion on accounting for revenue, expenses, asset, liability, and equity. And the last is evaluate whether disclosure relate to the accounting for the above items are made in accordance with the relevant standards. In terms of industry, Maybank is a holding company which provides commercial banking, investment, and finance services. For the segments, Maybank currently dealing with community financial services, global wholesale banking, insurance, takaful, and asset management and international banking. The founder for Maybank is Khoo Teck Puat. Maybank was established in 1960 and it is the largest company with market capitalization on Bursa Malaysia. Maybank is a worldwide company which operates in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and other countries. The headquarters is located in KL, Malaysia. Maybank contains 43,000 of employees. In 2018, Maybank was recognized as the best Malaysian organization by Talent Corporation Berhad. Now, I will be presenting question 2, which is accounting policies and standards by Maybank. The first accounting policy and standards used by Maybank is MFIS 9, which is financial instrument. Financial instruments are assets that can be traded or they can be seen as packages of capital that may be traded. MFIS 9 has been issued by MASB to replace MFIS 139 for the recognition and measurements for financial instruments. Since Maybank involved in complicated transactions, issuing various types of compound financial instruments and generating loans to different portfolios of clients with a different credit risk. So, they are using MFIS 9. The financial investments portfolio consists of financial assets designed upon initial recognition at fair value through profit or loss, financial investment at fair value through profit or loss, financial investment at fair value through other comprehensive income, and financial investment at amortization cost. The second accounting policy and standards in Maybank is MFIS 15, which is revenue recognition. Under the MFIS 15, Maybank recognizes the revenue under 5 steps to determine the amount and timing for revenue, which are identify the contract with customers, identify the separate performance obligations in contract, determine the transaction price, allocate the transaction price to separate performance obligations, and recognize revenue when each performance obligation is satisfied. Now, I will pass to the next presenter to continue the presentation.
Good afternoon. My name is Prem Kumar Ganesan and my metric number is S50429. Now, I'll be presenting the third accounting policies and standards using by Maybank, which is MFRS 7 Financial Instruments Disclosures. MFRS 7 requires all entities that have financial instruments that need to disclose, and this standard is similar to the IAS 30 disclosures in the financial statements of banks and similar financial institutions. The disclosures required under the standard are the significance of financial instruments and nature and extent of risk from financial instruments and how they are managed. The nature and extent risk are determined by the main risk, which are credit risk, liquidity risk, and market risk. The fourth accounting standards and policies using by Maybank is MFRS 17, which is insurance contract. MFRS for insurance contract was replaced with MFRS 17, which provides a comprehensive model for insurance contract and covering all relevant accounting aspects. The new standard is measurement of the present value of future cash flows, incorporating an explicit risk adjustment and measuring every reporting period. The contractual service margin, which is equal and upside to any day on one gain in the fulfillment cash flows of a group of contract, representing the unearned profitability of the insurance to be recognized in profit or loss over the service period. Now, I'll be presenting question number 3, which is disclosure of accounting for revenues, expenses, asset, liabilities, and equity. Revenue from Maybank are generated from the business of banking, income from Islamic banking scheme, operations, finance, investment banking, general and life insurance, which is including takaful, stock broking, leasing and factoring, trustee nominee service, asset management, and venture capital. Maybank using MFRS 15 and 17 to disclose revenue. Maybank currently using MFRS 15 to record fee income from the diverse range of service provided to customers when performance obligations satisfied, which are fee income earned on the execution of a significant act, fee income earned. Maybank also using MFRS 17 to record insurance revenue in the statement of the profit and loss and the other comprehensive income. The insurance revenue will be presented earned revenue less insurance claim. The interest expense of Maybank are deposit and placement from financial institution, deposit from customers' loan obligation on financial asset under repurchase agreements, borrowing, subordinated notes, and financial liabilities. The interest expenses in Maybank, which are related to the financial liabilities, are measured at fair value under MFRS 9. Maybank using valuation techniques such as discounted cash flow method, option pricing model, credit model, and other valuation model to measure the fair value of the interest expense. The asset of Maybank consists of investment properties, plant and equipment, right of use asset, and intangible asset, while the inter-segment balances is eliminated from consolidation and reported in the company statement. Maybank using MFRS 9 and MFRS 7 to disclose the assets. Maybank determines the business model at the level that will best reflect how the financial assets are managed to achieve their object. The model assesses based on the reasonably expected scenarios without taking the worst case or stress case scenarios into account and also using SPPI's test for the financial asset in business model. Now, I'm passing to the next presenter to continue the presentation.
The liabilities of Maybank consist of customer fighting deposits from financial institutions, obligation on financial assets sold under purchase agreement, derivative liabilities, financial liabilities, insurance payable, borrowings, and others payables. The financial liabilities for Maybank will be recognized and recorded as fair value through profit or loss under MFRS 9 and valued down in credit risk, market risk, and other factors. The other financial liabilities, debt security, would be recognized at amortized cost and deposit from customer, investment, account of customer, deposit and placement from financial institution are stated at a placement value. Equity of Maybank consists of share capital, return profit, reserve, and non-controlling interest. Maybank using MFRS to measure the reserve at fair values, and the changes in value of reserve will be presented in the statement of other comprehensive income as gain or loss under revaluation reserve. For the business combination and non-controlling interest portion, Maybank using the scope of MFRS 9, which is measured at fair value at each reporting date with changes in fair value recognized in profit or loss. Based on the summary of financial items in financial position of Maybank, the accounting standard used to disclose asset is MFRS 9 and MFRS 7, and the recognitions are made based on fair value. For the liabilities, the applied accounting standard is MFRS 9 and the recognition made at fair value. Maybank using MFRS 15 and 17 to disclose revenues and recognize revenues paid in the satisfaction of performance obligations. The expenses are disclosed under MFRS 9 and the financial asset is measured at the fair value through profit or loss. The equities are disclosed under MFRS 9 and recognized as fair value. Moving on, fourth questions, which is evaluate whether disclosures related to the accounting for the above items are made in accordance with relevant standard. The disclosure of related accounting in Maybank is made in accordance with relevant standard by using the regulatory requirement of Bank Regular measure for a financial institution. Under the designation of MFRS 9, Maybank follow the requirement of Bank Regular Malaysia with all financial assets are measured initially at their fair value plus entirely attributable transaction costs, except in the case of financial asset recorded at fair value through profit or loss. The impairment of financial asset in Maybank is based on the ELC models applies to the financial assets which are measured at amortized cost or at fair value on other comprehensive income. Irrevocable loan financing commitments and financial guarantees contract, which include loans, advance, and financing and debt instruments. The financial liabilities of Maybank also have adopted fair value option for certain financial liabilities which are designated upon initial recognition at fair value through profit or loss, and it also stated in notes to financial statement about Maybank have designated certain structural deposit and borrowing at fair value through profit or loss. Bank Negara Malaysia also stated that a financial institution to disclosure or prepare the financial statement with following the Takaful business or insurance contract fund recorded as a liability in statement of financial statement, and the insurance contract or Takaful certificate should be deemed to have complied with the requirements of a liability adequacy test under MFRS 4 insurance contract. Maybank is applied MFRS 4 or MFRS 7 and has mentioned that an assessment is processed at each reporting date through the performance of a liability adequacy test to determine whether the insurance contract or Takaful certificate liabilities are recognized is adequate to cover the obligation of insurance or Takaful subsidiary with respect to insurance contract or Takaful certificate is issue. Maybank also performs the liability adequacy test. The insurance or Takaful subsidiary will discount all contractual cash flows and compare with the carrying amount of insurance contract or Takaful certificate liabilities, and the deficiency are recognized in the income statement of Maybank. Here we come to the end of the presentations. We hope all the information that we provided will give a clear picture regarding the Maybank's financial information. Thank you.